An obese PSO talking about bowling balls. What could be more interesting than that? Fat, loud, crazy. Here's the sponsors. Here's the video. Here I am again. Smells like TJ Maxx at Christmas. A little dusty. Cinnamon. Sugar. Elves twerking on my face. Okay. Alright. Well, that joke wasn't as funny the second time I said that. Well, I do have to apologize. I filmed a 20-minute long session of me absolutely slaying it with this ball, only to find out that somehow during my recording, I got a phone call that did not, like, keep the footage going. Normally, I had my phone set to keep going during an interruption, but I don't know. But whoever called me during my video session, step on a Lego. Again, this is the PHAZE II PEARL. I've never thrown it before. I'm skinny. Okay, it's too early to be this cringe. I'm so sorry. But PHAZE II PEARL, what is it? Let me clear up the air right now. It is not a PHAZE AI remake. It is a completely different thing from the PHAZE AI. So this features the PHAZE II core from the solid. Quote me if I'm wrong. Usually I am. And it's a new Pearl cover stock that we have not seen, especially, let alone the PHAZE AI. It is not the same cover stock at all. So it's a different Pearl cover with the same tint that we love on the PHAZE II, and it's shiny. So without further ado, let's just see what it does. I'm going to start off this video by playing straighter, just to kind of get a grasp on how quick it responds to friction. Right away. Hey, right at my anus. Let's creep over a little bit more and see what we're working with here. Okay, so it's responding well to friction. The shot looks like it's playing pretty well to what I'm used to. Nothing crazy is going on. Well, yeah, oh, you know what I'm talking about. Let's get serious and let's try to strike. Nice. Nice. I missed a little left, but it held its ground. Too early to make any assumptions about it. Let's throw a couple more. Ooh. Damn, I almost shocked the rack back up. That was funny. Okay, before you say anything, I know the 9-pin was not there. I repeat, I know the 9-pin was not there. It is late and I am tired. Let's keep going. Fast and left. Normally, that's asking for a 10-pin. I'm trying to make you look good. Nine-pin is really testing me right now. Okay, I got a couple shots in. What do I think about it so far? So I can definitely tell there's some ancestry with the phase 2 solid in comparison to this. The essence of the solid one is definitely there. One thing about the phase 2 solid, let me get the elephant out of the room. I'm getting delusional. It's late. I'm sorry. So one thing about the phase 2 solid that I had a little bit of trouble with, won't go into it too far because I want to save this for the next video after this one. The solid, it just was way too long and flippy for me. I didn't really get the concept of it with it being a solid. So the only way that I was able to make my first couple of solids look really good was by putting like 3,000 or 4,000 on it to kind of like make it sparkly a bit. And that way it really like enhanced that skid flip motion. I was able to get inside. Now, the bad thing about getting it that deep with anything solid, period, is that you run into a little threshold and you flat tin a lot. You can run out of space. Now with the phase 2 pearl, there's a lot more length, bit more back end, but I feel like that core is better suited with a pearl cover stock. So what I'm getting at is that it's that same concept that I'm getting from the phase 2 solid, but a little better. So I'm able to get inside more and like slow it down and get it out and have it come back and not run into that flat 10 threshold that I was running in before with the phase 2 solid. That's gonna get really old really quick. Solid, you're no longer called just phase 2. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to live with this, buddy. But but yeah. But so far, I'm loving this. I keep on like walking around and making sure my phone's still recording and that my mic's still on. Nice. So another thing I really like about this ball too is that whenever I have to get this far inside, like when I'm bowling on like the burn or like the transition period at regionals, I often run into a time where I have to get very deep and I have to keep my speed up in order to keep some sort of momentum going through the front so I don't go Brooklyn. Now, when I get inside and I get my ball speed up, sometimes that forces me to kind of quit on the ball and I leave like a flat 10 like I mentioned earlier. With phase 2 pearl and where I'm at right now, I feel like I can really hit on it and I don't have to worry about the ball quitting. It's going to keep going. And even if I miss inside in that shim, it doesn't just keep sliding. That strength of the cover and core altogether just makes it turn just the right amount for my rotation, of course. It's not a magical ball, but it does it just enough to where it'll kick out the corners. I really like that. Nice. Yeah, this one's, I really like this one a lot. Oftentimes, one thing that I absolutely cannot do that other people on the regional tour can do is get in front of the ball return. Now, I haven't found the right shape for me to successfully get in front of the ball return and come back and have it hit the pocket with enough force to carry. So, we're gonna do the impossible on camera right now. I gotta count the steps in my head. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm treading into unfamiliar territory. I don't know what it's gonna do. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, left, right, left. Okay. I can do this. I can do this. Oh. I'm so pathetic. let's go back to the traditional methods and get in my proper position. Okay. Alright, so I just get the giddies when I get a shape in my hand that I know I'm going to do really well with, because I kind of just see the foreseeable future, and just I know that I'm finally going to have a chance at transition now. The Rockstar Amped was honestly one of my favorite balls of the year. It's still going to be one of my favorite balls of the year. But one thing that I think the PHAZE II does a little bit better at is it's in the length category. It's cleaner, and I know it can go through the fronts better. So I'm trying not to be super hyperbolic. Oh, wait, I'm out of breath. I'm sorry. Getting on the bar return, getting in front of that bar return really wore me out. But yeah, so it's good. It's really good. It's going to be very optimal for me, like when I have to get inside and wheel it. The amps would be more below that one. I would probably use the amp first before I go to the PHAZE II Pearl. And underneath the amps, I'd probably go PHAZE II Solid. So, but leave the amp out of the equation. The PHAZE II Solid and the PHAZE II Pearl are going to pair very well together. That's going to be the next video. But this video is just focusing on the PHAZE II Pearl itself in its entirety. Do I love it? Yes. Do I think it's going to be the best ball in the history of sport of bowling? Time will tell. I can't necessarily pick like a all-time favorite ball at the top of my head right now. There's just things look good at different times. But for this time right now that I'm filming this video, this looks incredible, and I know that I can go into late in the block and score pretty well with this. Also, I'm not the best shot maker, so I'm not going to be splitting hairs at my break point every single time like Darren Tang and Louis Napolis and, you know, other people like that. So if I'm striking from that deep with my slow ass and I'm doing this and that, it's a good sign. That's all I can tell you. I just spit and it went in the air and came down. Where'd it go? Anyway, I'll get that later. Yeah, buy it.